Patrick and his spleen failed to read the room. Now, ultimately, I did actually agree with what his spleen said, that him and Anu were not a match. Patrick from the latest season of Love is Blind UK, he was very direct in the pods, but there were some things where, like, I'm not sure if he doesn't get social cues or just simply lacks decorum. Some of the stuff that he was saying, even though I agreed with it, the delivery was just bad. Like, for instance, his main connection was Anu, who's a singer, and he kept asking her to sing, and she was basically like being shy about it and basically saying how she's very humble. She doesn't really like to brag about her talent and her accomplishments. Like, she doesn't want to be judged on her talents and her accomplishments. She's a very humble person. And Patrick was basically like, yeah, I don't like that. I hate when people are humble and try to lower themselves. People should be proud of themselves and big up their achievement. And I agree with that, but I feel like you could have delivered that better. I feel like he could have even encouraged her to be like, you should be proud of your accomplishment though. I'm really impressed by your talent and stuff like that. That's something you should be proud of. You don't need to be humble all the time. The delivery on that could have delivered it that way, rather than basically just saying like, I feel like you're diminishing yourself. Like, that's a bit harsh, very, very harsh. Then he basically brings up, oh, if my family didn't approve of me, would that affect you marrying me? And she was honest, and she was basically like, me and my mum are very close. I pretty much, do what my mum says. So if my mum didn't approve of you, we probably wouldn't go any further because I value my mum's opinion. Yeah, not reading the room. He's basically like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like people pleasers. I don't like it when people live for other people. Like, I feel like, you need to be selfish, like in a good way, but people should be selfish and live their lives for themselves and not for other people's validation. I agree. But it's very clear homegirl lives for her mum's validation. So I feel like he should have just kept this to himself and maybe said, I personally wouldn't care what people said about our relationship, but I've made note of that and I hope that I can impress your parents, because that's clearly important to her. At the end of the day, it's almost like ingrained within people to want to please their parents, right? And that's something that you have to unlearn, because that's something that's ingrained in most people. And it's not unheard of for people to want, at the very least, their parents' blessing on a marriage. Like, that's pretty common, actually, especially for women. So I just feel like he was coming at it a bit brash and definitely should have read the room. And I feel like Anu definitely got the ick after that, and the vibes were definitely down after that. She did want to continue the relationship after that, because I feel like Patrick was maybe her only option. But she definitely caught the ick after that, but was definitely firm in the ick because she really wanted to be married. So they did continue the relationship, but I feel like after that conversation, the vibes were just down bad after that, and they just never rose up. I think Anu tried to force it. He wasn't feeling the vibes, and he eventually cut things off, and he was very upset because I think she really thought like this was going to be her shot at marriage. But yeah, ultimately, Patrick's spleen was right, but I feel like he should have definitely read the room and on certain situations. And I feel like if he read the room on certain situations, maybe the relationship would have panned out differently. I think ultimately they weren't a match though. But I think, for me, just the fact that he just could not read the room really stuck out to me. But I've got to hear from you guys. Do you think Patrick was just keeping it real, or do you feel like his communication style needs some work? I gotta hear from you guys.